homecoming night, and they are going to be hosting the Bolsa Grande Matadors, along with Rashawn Haylock on the field and Beto Duran up here in the booth. I'm Lou Stowers, and we're just about ready to get underway. 1st and 10 in the wing T offense. Kenny Lewis hands it off to Travion Thomas. Thomas gets a big hole and goes across the 30-yard line to the 40. And a first down, actually the 50-yard line, and into Matador territory. And right away, it's Olay for the Cardinals, who want to just ram the ball down the Matador's throat, Beto.
Cardinals really going to look to pound the ball tonight. Coach Mark Gomez really excited about the way his offense has been getting going lately. They're 3-1 on the season after they lost to losing in the first week. They've really turned things around and going up against the Bolsa Grande team that's 2-2 coming into this game.
And the first time that the Cardinals have worn the black jerseys since the 60s, I think we were hearing. Is that right? Thomas gets the ball, goes around the right corner, and he has got a burst of speed down the far sideline into the end zone. Touchdown, Lawndale! A 48-yard scamper around the left side for Travion Thomas, and the Cardinals strike early.
So just like that, huh? 2 plays and a quick touchdown. Travion Thomas, touchdown number 11 of the season for number 3. The seniors really having an outstanding early season. We haven't even got to the league action yet.
So Thomas,
there
why
you
don't
go.
you call the action there, Beto?
He takes the handoff from the quarterback, just goes around the corner and uses his speed, 5'6", and really has some afterburners. Gets past one Matador defender. 32 was coming up and wasn't going to track him down. Thomas up the sidelines. Nobody's going to catch him.
And coming on to tack on the extra point is Jesse Perez. Snap back, ball is not down as we have a flag down. And the Cardinals are 3-1 since we saw them last after losing or blitzed them right here in the Cardinals' nest. They've gone 3-0 and have really outscored their opponents. Beto have racked up 148 points in those 3 games.
Yeah, after the losing game where they gave up 57, they went to Sierra Vista, put up 53. Then they knocked off Bishop Montgomery 41-27. Then they took care of Animo like they're supposed to, 54-14. Coach Mark Gomez said the offense is going to outweigh their defense because the defense giving up some points, and that's what they have to do tonight is stop this Bolsa Grande team.
Snap back, ball down, kick is true and through. So with 11:40 left to go in the first quarter, it is 7-0 Cardinals over the Matadors. Now let's go down to Rashawn Haylock.
Thanks, guys. This is a very important game for Lawndale on a couple of levels. First of all, it's homecoming. We know how much emotion goes into a homecoming game at home, playing against friends, alumni, all of your students at home. Also, not only that, Lawndale coming to this game with a record of 3-1. Now, a year ago, at the same point in the season, they were 3-1, went to Bolsa Grande in a game that was right here on Channel 22 and lost 18-13. Lawndale went on to lose 5 of their next 6 games after starting off the season 3-1. I asked Coach Gomez about that before the game today, and he said that was definitely in the back of their minds, but it was important for them to come out here and jump out on them and get a good start because going into the league, they have South coming up next week. They wanted to build off of that so the same thing doesn't happen this year, which happened to them last year. I guess, guys, we can see how important it was. Lawndale quickly up 7-0 in this one.
Xavier Mitchell picks up the ball for the Matadors. A flag down. There goes Mitchell down the far sideline. Finally is caught inside of Cardinal territory, about the 40-yard line, Beto, but let's see where that flag is.
Yeah, Xavier Mitchell is going to be one of the key running backs for Bolsa Grande. Touching up on Bolsa Grande, they're 2-2 on their season. They have a sophomore quarterback who's going to start tonight, and Garrett Lowmiller. He's playing because their junior quarterback, who's a good one, Jesus Segovia, hurt his knee last week against Ocean View. They think he might have some cartilage damage, but sophomore Garrett Lowmiller in there for head coach Jim Lamb. Lamb is no stranger to the area, Lou. He was at Hawthorne for 8 years, and talking to him before the game, we asked him who's your running back going to be, who's your main one, rattled off 4 different numbers. So this is a team that needs to get into the end zone. They've been really struggling offensively, only averaging 12 points per game. And that's not going to get it done against a Lawndale squad that is averaging, it seems like, 120.
An illegal block below the knee, as referee Dave Kurtz tells us. It'll be 1st and 10 for the the Matadors. And that'll be at their own 15-yard line. So a good return by Mitchell. And they're all the way back inside of their own territory as the ball is handed off to Mitchell. Bulls his way through for about 8 yards. Actually, that's not Mitchell. That is Ryan Loline. And he gains about 8 yards. Actually, that's good enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, Bolsa Grande runs their own variation of a wing T. Coach Lance said they run more of a pro-style offense, but they have all those running backs so they can use them in different ways. Xavier Mitchell, 6 foot, 185. Loline, who just carried the rock, 5'11", 210. He's the bruiser. Then you got Jimmy Wynn at 5'7", 185, little quick guy coming out of the backfield. And I don't know how many other running backs they got on the sidelines, but they might have another 20 plus.
They might. Jim Lamb just kind of being like a lamb, and he's crazy like a fox, though, I think, talking to us and saying, oh, we're not all that good, and we're small, and I hope our quarterback doesn't get all broken up in two. But then they come out with Mitchell and now Loline, who we remember from last year's game, who really ran the ball, and you could see him just straight up the middle.
Yeah, it's going to be a good running back game we're going to have tonight. And notice that the beanies are out, the big overcoats out. Rashawn had one on, and fifth game of the season, and you're up here with the blanket. I got my big coat. First week against Lusinger, we didn't even wear a coat because it was about 120 degrees.
It was like Palm Springs. Now it's like Palm Springs in the dead of winter. It's the desert winter now as the ball is handed off on the fake handoff. Or the fake to the first man actually was snapped to the running back, Jimmy Wynn. And he doesn't get a whole lot of running room there as the Cardinal defense smells that out.
Bolsa Grande is a team that plays in the southern section. They're in Garden Grove. They open up league action next week against Santiago. Then they take on Rancho Alamitos, Los Amigos, La Quinta, Garden Grove. Teams we're not used to seeing around here, but Lamb with the connection to the Hawthorne area, knows the community, and brings his squad up here. It's a good rivalry.
Back splits, and the handoff is once again taken by number 41, Max Flores. And Flores, nice stop on the play by TJ Vanderbilt. So a gain of 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for the Matadors. All right, well, let's give him 5 yards. How about that, Beto?
Sure, Lou.
Why not? We'll be be nice tonight. So far, it's homecoming for the Cardinals as well. So there you see the sophomore quarterback handing the ball straight up the middle. Good defensive push by the Cardinals, as that's what Mark Gomez was saying he's concerned about. He's not concerned about the offense. Well, heck, it only took him 2 plays to get into the end zone.
It's stopping the running attack, and Bolsa Grande is going to keep it really simple tonight with a sophomore quarterback who's making his first varsity start. They're going to see a lot of handoffs, not too many passes from him, and also there's a lot of wind swirling around here at Lawndale Stadium. You're going to have to keep the ball on the ground. Lowmiller last week coming in place for Segovia in the second half. Coach Lamb said he really kept it simple, but was nervous. Obviously, you know, you're the backup quarterback, and all of a sudden you get thrown in there, and you got big monster senior guys coming after you. They're going to make you sweat.
4th and 1 at the 34-yard line, and now there's going to be a delay of game call on the Matadors, as that was called by the back judge, Steve Smotrees, and we're going to go back 5. So back now comes the punting unit on, as the Matadors were going to go for that one.
Yeah, big sequence right there. Good break for Lawndale. It was a 4th and 1. Had it. Bolsa Grande trying to extend that drive, and now that penalty can knock them back, have to punt, and Lawndale's going to get the ball back with that explosive offense.
Jesse Llorado with the punt. Nice spiral into the wind as that wind just got it right about midfield, and we have another flag down on the field as the ball is dead right at about the 49-yard line of Lawndale. But let's see what this flag is. Holding on Lawndale is the preliminary call by Dave Kurtz. So it's going to go back to, well, maybe about the 38-yard line or so. They see the defensive coordinator, Lex Brown, for the Cardinals. So we're going to go back a few yards. And the Cardinals will be pinned back.
Well, following this Lawndale squad every Saturday morning, picking up the paper and seeing what they've done, you always notice that their offense is really balanced. Travion Thomas coming into the game had 590 yards and 10 touchdowns. Kelvin Rutledge, 531 with 9 touchdowns. Give Coach Mark Gomez a lot of credit, able to share the wealth. Sometimes you have too many running backs and not everybody's happy. And here, it seems like everybody gets the ball equally, and they really do put up the numbers.
And everybody seems to, like you say, and also everybody's on the same page offensively. His coming in motion is Kelvin Rutledge, but the ball is handed off up the middle. Good push by those Hogs up front, as that was Carlton Callaway, who's getting a chance now after missing a game with a sore shoulder. But Carlton has a very special fan in the house tonight.
Really? Who's that?
It's his 70-year-old grandfather. We can find him. He's got a white 10-gallon hat on. And he came out here from Long Island, New York, is an equestrian.
Gets to see his grandson play, and a good carry there for Callaway.
That's right. 6 yards on the carry.
Well, that's what homecoming's about, right? Bringing back the family.
Absolutely. Kenny Lewis under center. Ball is handed off up the middle again. Callaway gets it, but is pushed back by the Matadors.
Callaway runs hard. He's 5'11", 210 pounds, runs right at you, and it took 3 Matadors to take down Callaway, who's using them big thighs, generates some muscle.
Larry Guerrero on the stop for Bolsa Grande, and Callaway 5'11", 210, just a junior. And what a turnaround this is. Yeah, they're 3-1 this year as they were last year when we saw them against Bolsa Grande, Beto, but this is a more confident team, I think.
Looks like a cohesive team that is really buying into Gomez's system, and like you said, Luke, a lot of confidence.
Ball handed off again on the sweep. Kelvin Rutledge has it, has the first down and then some if he can get around the corner. Following Travion Thomas into Bolsa Grande territory for a big run and a big first down.
Travion Thomas, number 3, you're going to see him on your screen coming up, delivered a big block that allowed Rutledge to get up an extra couple yards, springing him loose for the first down. So not only can Thomas run the ball, get into the end zone with ease, delivering the big block there.
11 yards for Rutledge on his first touch. And it's 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. And their running game is in high gear. That's good to see. No confusion so far. Lewis hands it off to Thomas. Goes over the left side and looking for another first down and falls forward and does. Just following his blockers, nothing fancy.
And then once Thomas gets into the open field, you see the moves that he has. Put a nice move on number 40, Aaron Tuya, the linebacker, and able to spring loose for a couple extra yards. And Tuya looked like he had him wrapped up, squared up, and ready to deliver a blow. And Thomas just puts a nice little shifty move on him.
So they're moving the chains. And this is something that the Cardinals, it was an exciting thing if they would get a first down. The past few years that we've seen them here on Channel 22 Sports. This is good to see. Lewis back to pass, throws, and Jabari Lewis just couldn't get underneath it. So Kenny Lewis is now 3 out of 19 on the year. Jabari is his favorite target. On the receiving end, has 1 catch for 33 yards.
Wouldn't he be yours, 6'2", 170, and can fly?
Oh, yeah.
Kenny Lewis is smart. Find the big guy and throw it right to him.
Saw Coach Acosta here as well. Acosta, the basketball coach, and I'm sure he'd love to have Jabari out there in the hardwood. Oscar Castillo leads him out at center. There you see Coach Gomez. Kenny Lewis barking out signals. Man in motion is Thomas, but they give it off to Carlton Callaway, the fullback, bowling his way over the right side. Gets good yardage down close to the 21-yard line.
Carlton Callaway going to run right at you and run right over you. Here gets a couple of Bolsa Grande defenders to miss, and he's just going to deliver a good punishing blow. Actually took out one of his guys.
Yeah, just got to get out of the way, huh? 8 yards on the plate will be 3rd down and about 2, a long 2 we'll call it. Callaway, boy, he is a good-looking runner, straight ahead. Kenny Lewis Hands off to Thomas, or is it fumbled?
Looks like it was fumbled. And Lawndale's going to keep the ball.
Callaway gets that fumble recovery.
It was intended for Travion Thomas, and the handoff just didn't quite work there. Kenny Lewis turns around, hits Thomas right in the hip. And Callaway is a smart player right there to pick it up.
Got an aim it right for that navel piercing. If he's got one, I don't know if he does.
I was just, yeah.
So it's a loss on the play.
There you go, Lou.
4th down. Big 4th down play for the Cardinals. They're going for it. It'll be 4th at about 6 yards to go. Thomas now is given on the misdirection to Rutledge, who scampers into the end zone for a touchdown. 28 yards on the touchdown for Kelvin Rutledge, who took that misdirection right up the middle.
That's the beauty of the wing tee, the misdirection there. Kenny Lewis is going to fake once and give it right back to Kelvin Rutledge, who cuts up the middle. Lots of green pasture there. Rutledge just turned it up and touchdown, Lawndale.
Look at that. That was pretty misdirection there, wasn't it?
That's the beauty of the wing tee right there.
If you're on offense, yeah.
And not announcing.
Whoops. Snap back, ball down, kick is blocked.
You know, Lou, doing these Lawndale games, you've gotten a lot better at noticing the misdirection. Give you a lot of credit for that.
It is tough. It really is. And I don't know how I'm doing it with these jerseys here, because the black jerseys with the white outlining and the red numerals is kind of tough to see out there.
But you were going to mention you didn't know how you're doing with your eyes.
No, it's not my eyes. Actually, it's Tom Strickfaden and
or
that
your
terrific
eye.
crew. I have one good eye, and the other one's not. Well, I have one bad eye, and the other one doesn't work too well.
Well, what is working well is this Lawndale offense here in the first quarter, 13 points.
That's right.
And once again, splitting the touchdowns. Travion Thomas had one. Kelvin Rutledge with the other one, going up on Bolsa Grande 13-0. And that's not what Coach Jim Lamb wanted to see from his Matadors, giving up 2 quick touchdowns.
A 7-play drive that took about 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Or check that, about 4 minutes. Just over 4 minutes, 4 minutes and 2 seconds.
So 7 plays. They stretched it out this time compared to the 2-play drive that opened up the game.
They had to make sure that they got some other plays in there, as you see some of the homecoming crowd. And Mark Gomez, he's excited.
He's focused.
So
he knows that his team also gives up some points against this Bolsa Grande team that's been struggling.
Eddie Alvarado's squid kick bounces off of the Mitchell. Mitchell going around the far sideline. Mitchell coming up the sideline, getting up to midfield and out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. A good return for Mitchell, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Matadors at midfield.
Yeah, Mitchell twice has had long runs on the kickoff attempts and had the first one called back, but here Mitchell's going to spin off one Lawndale defender, put a move on one on 54, and just going to get it to the outside. And TJ Vanderbilt had a chance to wrap him up, but Mitchell's a big player, able to get the outside for a nice long gain.
No penalty flags. And that's the good news for the Matadors, dressed in their white, blue pants and red socks. Handoff goes to Loline, and he gets about 4 yards on the play, where it'll be 2nd down and 6.
Like the Bolsa Grande helmets, on one side it's the BG, the school initials, and on the other side you have the number, kind of like the Alabama
That's right.
helmets where they have the number on the side. And there you see Loline just get to the outside. Nice scamper.
2nd down and 6, 4:06 left to go in the first quarter. Cardinals leading the Matadors 13-0. Bringing him out is Garrett Lowmiller, just a sophomore, 150 pounds. He'll hand the ball off to the fullback over right tackle, and trying to get close to that 1st down marker is Jimmy Wynn. Wynn gains about 4 yards on the play, 4 tough yards.
Jimmy Wynn, another one of the running backs that we're going to see from Bolsa Grande. Wynn along with Ryan Loline and Xavier Mitchell. This time Wynn, the smaller of the trio, able to scamper out for a couple yards.
Big third down play for the Cardinal defense, let alone the Matador offense. They want to kick their heels up. Ball is handed off, first down. Mitchell for the Matadors. He just made that one look easy going over left guard.
Yeah, Ryan Loline picking up the first down for the Matadors, and now Bolsa Grande has a chance to keep this drive going, and a good drive at that. Started by Xavier Mitchell with a long kickoff return there. Loline carries a couple of Hollandale defenders, one of them Gelson Cuevas for the first down.
8-yard gain for Loline and the Matadors on a first down. That's their their first down of the game. Actually, their first drive of the game. Oh, second drive of the game. That was Max Flores with the run, gaining about 4 yards.
And
so
there's that other running back. That's their fourth running back Bolsa Grande has used. Max Flores, 5'6", 155-pound sophomore. So you have two sophomores in the backfield with Lohmiller and Flores. And if you're Lawndale, you're trying to key in on one running back. You're not going to do that tonight. You just got to find the guy with the ball and square him up and knock him down.
2nd and 6, a long 6. A draw play up the middle, and the Cardinals stuffed that one. That again was Max Flores. No gain. So good defense by the Cardinals.
Bring up third down, and a big third down play it's going to be here for Lawndale. See if their defense is able to stop Bolsa Grande. Last time, Bolsa Grande able to get going for their first down of the game. Here, it's a big chance for Lawndale's defense to show.
Well, let's see if Lohmiller will pass this down. He has yet to put the ball up in the air, but they're going against the wind. The wind is really blowing hard from left to right. Ball is handed off. No, he's going to pass it. And is it caught? No. Goes out of bounds as the intended receiver was Ryan Loline. So good defense again by the Cardinals. And you can probably hear that wind blowing into our microphones.
There it is.
But we just have a nice blockage by the press box. We are outside of the
Lohmiller
elements.
rolls right outside, and he's going to look for his running back coming from the backfield. Loline hit him in the hands a little bit too high. First pass attempt for Lohmiller. Not a good one, but had a shot at Loline. And there we see what you need to do with a young quarterback. Roll him out, let him use his legs, find somebody. You don't want him sitting in the back of the pocket, sit and duck.
Marcus Manigo, the linebacker, with 18 tackles to lead this Cardinal defense, was out there. Jabari Lewis has 3 interceptions. Marquise Wellington has 2. And Dante Batiste has a pick for this Cardinal defense. And you really don't see that too often, where a defense has that many interceptions in a season, let alone the first 4 games.
That gives a lot of credit to that secondary where they're coming up and, balls in the air. Defender got to knock it down, and that's what Lawndale is doing. Big fourth down play, and looks like Bolsa Grande is going to go for it. They talked a lot over there.
Yeah, they're in 4-down territory. The ball is at the 32-yard line. 6 yards away from a first down. It's 4th down. See what the Cardinals can do with this Matador offense as they're in the I formation right now. Double tight end set. 2 receivers, I should say, as now we have a whistle and a stoppage of play as Lohmiller was going to pass it, couldn't find anybody. So it might be a break for the Matadors. Let's see if there was a time violation. Delay a game.
It would look like illegal substitution for Lawndale. And that's going to, looks like it's going to be a, oh, the referees are trying to figure out which way they're going. It is against Lawndale. Bolsa Grande will gain some yards.
So it'll still be 4th down, but it'll be short.
So it'll be 4th and 2. That's a big difference between 4th and 7, Lou. Bolsa Grande, we've seen their running backs are able to get 2-3 yards with ease. It's those long runs that they haven't been able to break.
So from the 27-yard line now, it'll be 4th down and a long 2 yards to go. A little bit tougher for the defense now. And going across the line and looking like it's a first down. Was that Loline? Yes, it was.
Yeah, Loline gets the first down, taken down by Marcus Moningo. So that penalty comes back to haunt Lawndale as Bolsa Grande picks up their second first down of the game.
Raphael King ran right by Loline at the 24-yard line. So after a 3-yard gain by Loline and 1:08 left to go, clock running in the first quarter, Lohmiller brings him out. Ball is handed off to Loline, going around the right side. Gets good yardage down to about the 20-yard line. Looks like Loline's going to get the bulk of the load tonight.
Yeah. Nice tackle by Jabari Lewis, number 18. And once Loline gets to the outside, Lewis is going to come up from the safety spot and then just wrap Loline up around the legs. If not, Loline looked like he might have been able to scoot in for a touchdown there.
Second down and about 4 yards to go from the 16-yard line. This should be the last play of the first quarter. Cardinals up 13-0. And the ball on the misdirection, it didn't fool the Cardinals. Fake handoff to Loline. And the ball went to Jimmy Wynn. Nothing doing. May have lost a yard on the play.
Yeah, it was intended for Loline, and Loline wasn't looking, and Wynn almost had the ball stripped away, able to hold on for it as that ends the first quarter.
Jamal Fleming almost stripped the ball away from Jimmy Wynn. We're going to switch sides, and we're going to take a timeout. 13-0. Cardinals over Bolsa Grande. It's homecoming night on Channel 22 Sports. Back at Lawndale High School, it's homecoming. The Monarchs have it on a full house backfield. The ball is handed off on a third down play. And I don't think they got it, Beto, but it's going to be close.
Looks like Jim Wynn is going to come up a bit short for Bolsa Grande. The Lawndale defensive line knocking down number 21.
That ball goes down to the 11-yard line. Check that, that's the 15-yard line. So it'll be 4th and 1, another big challenge for the Cardinal defense. This is what Coach Mark Gomez wanted, a big test, full house backfield.
Cardinals better make sure not to jump off sides.
Fumble down underneath as the snap was fumbled to Lohmiller. Let's see if the Cardinals recover. It doesn't matter because it's 4th down anyway.
So another break for Lawndale. Their Lohmiller, the sophomore, shows his inexperience, unable to hold on to the snap. And they're going to see in the replay just hit him right in the hands, and he just fell on top of it. So Lawndale gets the ball on the change of downs, and now let's see how many downs it takes for Lawndale to get a nice long drive going.
That's right. Now this is their longest drive, their furthest back. They're at the 16-yard line.
The third drive of the game. First one took 2 plays before they got in the end zone. Then the second one took them 7.
Callaway has it. Callaway looking for somebody to hit as he gets across the 25-yard line. He could have run straight up and gotten another 10 yards, but he was just looking for a white jersey to hammer.
Yeah, and he ran into a big guy, Larry Guerrero. He was a linebacker, 6'2", 245, and Guerrero and Callaway, that's a good battle there.
Big old number 54. Ouch. Hello, Larry. 11-yard gain, though, for Callaway and a first down with 10:52 left to go in the first half on homecoming night. Who's going to be the queen?
Your king, your queen.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Right now, the Cardinals are trying to figure out the defense as Travion Thomas gets good running room up the middle over the right side first and then cuts back across the grain for about a 6-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
There, Thomas going to take the handoff from Lewis. And he almost dropped the ball that time. The handoff between Lewis and Thomas hasn't exactly been the best. It already resulted in 1 fumble.
Well, I know probably what's going on out there. It's going to be the ball is placed at about the 34-yard line, but the umpire keeps kicking it around there. It's a 7-yard gain for Travion Thomas.
So what's going on between that exchange, Lou?
It's cold out there, and the ball is it's a dry cold right now. The hands are dry, and the ball is dry. Carlton Callaway, though, hangs on to it with a first down and then some. Callaway down to the 40, the 30, and is drug out of bounds by Max Flores after a huge gain and a Cardinal first down.
Carlton Callaway with the family in tow here, putting on a show. Callaway able to get it to the outside. We talked about him running at people, running over people. This time Callaway runs to the outside. A long gain, gets past Kevin Figueroa on the outside, and then finally taken down before he was going to the house.
We'll call it a 40-yard gain. That goes down to the 26-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 deep inside of Matador territory. And now we have a whistle, and the play is stopped.
Well, some movement on the line. We're trying to figure out who moved first.
And look at the quality of that picture. So we're looking at Dave Kurtz, illegal procedure against the Cardinals.
That's called
So
white balance.
Well, not only that, but Tom Strickfaden has somehow, some way, gotten a terrific budget from the Lawndale Hawthorne Community Cable people, and the equipment is just top notch. It is just a beautiful picture here at Lawndale.
Like
Look at
that tight zoom right there.
Absolutely. Dion Reed coming in for the timeout.
The replay machines we have.
The
nice
graphics.
headsets.
Now if we can just get a, yeah, that's right. Thanks for the headsets. These are terrific. Finally got the mothballs out of here. And
got a lamp.
Don't have to shake out. Well, that's courtesy of American Sports and Entertainment down in Huntington Beach.
You have a blanket. That shows how much seniority you have.
Well, that's from my trunk.
Oh.
Let me tell you.
That's years of experience.
This blankie here has seen a lot of snow.
In Huntington Beach?
Well, back in the old Midwest, in Missouri and Kansas and Illinois, Nebraska,
Lawndale,
Indiana, Lawndale. That's right.
Hawthorne.
It's snowing here.
Sleet.
Palmdale. Boy, when we went up to Lancaster a couple of years ago, if I didn't have
That's
this
one
blanket.
thing we do, though. We do travel. I've been to Santa Barbara.
That's right.
While you headed down to San Clemente on the same day.
Let me see. No, I got to stay here.
Once again, seniority. You got the
That's
blanket.
right.
All right. I got to aim to have a blanket in my trunk one
Got to
day.
get your blankie.
We get food before the game, sandwiches.
Man, that's right.
Sometimes even sandwiches.
And sometimes we even get a napkin.
You have a sleeve.
I know, but it costs when you got to clean these sleeves. But Kelvin Rutledge gets some good yardage after the 5-yard penalty. Gets about 3 of that back. I'm going to check that 4 yards back.
That was a different look. We see there, quarterback Kenny Lewis going to drop. Look like he's going to drop back, and as he's going back, hands it off to Kelvin Rutledge. And usually with the wing tee, you see different variations, different phrases. You don't see too often where the quarterback is standing almost like the Statue of Liberty.
Good tackle, open field tackle by Ryan Loline of Bolsa Grande, and Kelvin Rutledge doing a good job hanging on to the ball. We're at 2nd down at about 11 yards to go. Thomas with the ball, following his blocker. Look out, the ball is fumbled. Who got it? It looks like it's going to be recovered by Bolsa Grande and Jesus Isaza.
Well, we had talked about the bad handoffs between Kenny Lewis and his running backs. And this time, Travion Thomas unable to hold on to the ball. He's going to have it popped out. He was running behind him. Xavier Mitchell just poked his paw in there and knocked it away from Travion Thomas. Big break for Bolsa Grande.
That's right, as they were on the move were the Cardinals. So the Matadors get the ball 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. 9:14 left to go in the first half. Getting the ball, big old number 36, and that's Xavier Mitchell. Mitchell rumbling his way for 11 yards and a first down.
Xavier Mitchell, he created this opportunity after knocking the ball away from Travion Thomas. And of course, you're going to call his name the first one, the pitch back, and Thomas, big running back, just bruising down the field.
So 11 yards on the play up to the 31-yard line. And check that, it looks more like the 34-yard line. Ball is handed off again, and again, nice running room up the middle, but we have a penalty flag across the field at about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Xavier Mitchell with the carry again, takes a big hit from losing your defender. Looks like it might be a face mask, and that's what it is.
So the defense is betraying Mark Gomez and the Cardinals right now. A big running play and then a big replay, or I'm sorry, a big, what do you call it, penalty. Let's go down to Rashawn after the next play. We'll go down to Rashawn. How about that? So face mask brings it up across the 45-yard line to the 46. And now let's go down to Rashawn.
Thanks, guys. Now, we know the sophomore quarterback, Garrett Loffmiller, is making just his first career start for Bolsa Grande tonight. And after that last fumble in the previous possession, clearly upset, walked off the field with his head down. Some of his teammates were trying to encourage him, patting him on the helmet, encouraged him, telling him to keep his head up. And one of the assistant coaches walked over to him and said, deep in the zone, we cannot have any mistakes. That's the one rule. No mistakes. It looks like he's learned from that. Looks like they're moving the ball pretty well on this drive. Back to you guys.
Yep, now we've got to get the Cardinals to do that deep in the zone there. Actually, they're 2 out of 3. The Cardinals are deep in the opponent's zone. But turning the ball over like that, you just don't want to do, as the ball was run by Jimmy Wynn for about 4 yards. The 3rd down and 6.
Now you see Wynn, seems like to be the short yardage back for Bolsa Grande. When it comes in and does the dirty work, which is, there you see Wynn standing next to Coach Jim Lamb. Lamb knows something about cartilage damage. Hurt himself in Costa Rica during the winter on his 2nd day of a trip.
Yeah, he didn't say what he was doing, though, whether he was on a table or on a mountain.
I think
probably on a mountain.
He might have been surfing.
What a
20-foot
beautiful
waves.
Defensive play by Raphael King, but there's a flag on the play as he wrapped up Lolene and threw him back for a loss, but let's see what the penalty is. It's going to be a holding call. I wonder if they'll take the loss and the down instead.
And there you see the pitch over to Xavier Mitchell, and there's the hold on number 70, but Raphael King just came in and a nice tackle, but before that, the hold by Miles Davey is what he was going to get tagged for. Really wasn't necessary because the play was going away from him, but you can't take down a defender like that.
And who ran that ball again?
Xavier Mitchell.
Okay. Hey, how about those Cardinal fans? Big 4th down play. Defense trying to get things going here, as coming on to punting the ball is Jesus Zarza. So a good defensive play by Raphael King so that the Cardinals had the choice and they took the down.
And Lowmiller, the quarterback, is the up back, so don't be surprised if they are able to pull off some kind of trickery here.
And it is. Snap was back to the quarterback, Garrett Lowmiller, looking for somebody to pass to downfield, but he was run out of bounds before a man could get open. Deep downfield was Brian Carillas.
And that's exactly what they did. They acted like they were going to punt. Lowmiller gets the ball, looking for somebody to pass to. There's nobody there. The only thing he sees are 2 black shirts coming after him, and he's only $150. He's trying to get out of the way. Lowmiller did the smart thing, held on to the ball. Didn't lose too many yards.
That's Raphael King. Somebody feed, and actually no, keep him hungry till after the game. I was going to say somebody give him a sandwich or something.
So let's see if Lawndale can take advantage of the botched fake punt by Bolsa Grande.
And it's in Matador territory. at the 45-yard line. Ball is given to Callaway. Callaway pushing and shoving white shirts out of the way to gain about 5 or 6 yards, second down.
Might as well record this and play it over and over every time Carlton Callaway gets the ball. He's going to run hard and he's going to take down a couple of defenders. And there, Callaway ran hard for about 4 yards and carried 3 Matador defenders with him.
Terrific play, terrific blocking up front, too.
He's the up back, and there, 1.
Nice kick-out block
2,
by Kenny Perez.
3, and he still keeps the legs going. Nice run by Carlton Callaway.
Backs in the eye. Thomas with it, and he's caught in the backfield. Can he get out of it? Nope. Nice tackle in there by Max Flores.
Yeah, good containment by Bolsa Grande, not allowing the running back to get to the outside. Keep him contained. That's what we haven't seen the Matadors do much of tonight.
More of a traditional look this time from the Cardinals on offense. A little bit of a face match there by Flores. Kevin Figueroa also in there to mess that play up. How about those Hogs? We got 76 in there. Marco Ramirez, number 51. Kenny Perez, 66. Oscar Castillo, excuse me. And Kenny Lewis bringing him out. Man in motion is Rutledge, gets the ball, has a couple of blockers, and that was Travion Thomas. A nice run as Rutledge gets the ball across the first down marker, and no flags. First down, Lawndale.
Nice run by Kelvin Rutledge, but that run was created because of the big block by Travion Thomas. Twice tonight we mentioned the blocking ability of Thomas, and you're going to see him as Rutledge is trying to get to the outside. Thomas just knocks down number 40, Aaron Tuya, and that allowed Rutledge to get upfield for the big gain.
11 yards on the gain, and it's 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line of the Matadors.
And that's what you like to see from your running back, a complete running back. Thomas has also come out a couple times in a play-action formation. We've seen that in the past, and catch the ball. He can block. He can run the ball. That's what you want to see.
Rutledge in motion to the near side. Ball is handed off to Callaway. Flag goes up in the air. Callaway trying to get around the left side, does. Runs into some traffic. He runs it over, but let's see what the flag's all about. Flag was thrown in from the back judge. Illegal motion is called on Lawndale. Let's see if we can see it. It was had to be on the motion by Rutledge.
There, Carlton Callaway just following his defenders, and what better blocker than Travion Thomas? It's one thing, he's not going to go down easy, number 23.
TJ Vanderbilt also with a nice block out there. So this penalty is going to bring everything back. Run is negated, and a 5-yard loss. So we'll add up those penalty yards again. Ball is back at the 39-yard line. Back to pass is Lewis, puts it up in the air for Jabari Lewis. It is intercepted by Bolsa Grande. Ball was thrown short. Min Pham with the interception for Bolsa Grande, and it'll be 1st and 10 deep in their own territory for the Matadors.
Nice pass by Lewis, going to the other Lewis, Jabari Lewis. Min Pham, the defender for Bolsa Grande, one-on-one coverage, and does an excellent job of cutting off Lewis from the ball. Pham with his interception, and you couldn't have played that ball any better. Excellent play by Min Pham for Bolsa Grande.
Sure was. With 4:15 left to go in the first half. 13-0 Lawndale, and 2 turnovers, big turnovers here. They see some cheerleaders for the Cardinals. Is she going to be the homecoming queen? 2 big turnovers here for Lawndale. Really shot themselves in the foot to really put this game out of reach in the first half, Beto.
Yeah, a fumble by Travion Thomas, and there the interception pass by Kenny Lewis. And both times when Lawndale was driving, They had some momentum going deep into Bolsa Grande territory, and that's what is allowing the Matadors to stay into this game.
So it's 13-0, and they're talking it over, seeing what the penalty flag is. A lot of penalty flags in the second quarter, Beto.
They had a nice, good flow going in the first quarter. It looks like a chop block on Bolsa Grande.
That's their second one.
And that's dangerous. A chop block, you're basically taking out the defender's knees, and you don't ever want to see anything like that. And it looks like it was Gaudi Azanza, number 53, who was the victim of that chop block, and there he is, grabbing the knee area.
And he's one of their big guys in the middle. Let's watch it carefully.
And there you see it right in the middle of the screen. Azalza was up high, and one of the Bolsa Grande defenders came down low, so that's a no man's land, and good call by the umpire to recognize that and put a stop to that.
So this is going to go way back for Bolsa Grande. A 10-yard penalty, but it's half the distance to the goal. So it's 2nd down and 10. Ball is taken upfield by Mitchell, and it'll be a first down for the Matadors. And let's go down to Rashawn Haylock.
Thanks, guys. And this Lawndale team is kind of reminding us of USC somewhat with all the injuries on the offensive line. Guys, we know we talked to Coach Gomez before the game. We talked about how this offensive line has just been banged up. Well, right behind me, big number 75, Armando Villa. Recurring knee injury, got banged up a little bit earlier on in the game. However, the trainer is telling me he probably will not be able to return in this one. So it looks like those offensive line injuries continue for the Cardinals. Back up to you guys.
Thank you very much, Rashawn. It'll be 2nd down and about 8 yards to go for the Matadors, as Lolene, that would give him 3 yards on that.
And with the loss of Villa, he's 6'1", 275, big guy up front, opening up the lines for Kelvin Rutledge and Travion Thomas. That's going to be a big loss. You know it's a big loss when we both say it at the same time.
That's right. Dion Reed's out there. Jose Castillo, 6'3", 345-pounder out there now for the defense.
Looks like the ball got loose. Lawndale says they have it.
That would be a big break going into halftime with 2:27. The clock is still running, and
they
do.
Oh. So this is starting to boil down to, I don't want it, you take it. I don't want it, you take it.
It's that ball. It's slippery. See that?
Once again, Lohmiller unable to connect with the center and just drop the snap. I'm going to go down there at halftime and see how cold that ball is, Lou.
Okay. I'm telling you. It's a dry cold. There's just no moisture in the ball. There's no moisture in the ground, which means there's no, here, feel your hands. There's just no moisture right now.
I know you have the background of a weatherman. So explain to me, Mr. Weather Channel, what a dry cold and a wet cold is.
When it's raining, it's a wet cold. When it's not raining, it's a dry cold.
Oh. What about when it's mucho frío?
It's pretty cold. And the ball is handed off on the misdirection to Rutledge, and the ball is loose. And the ball's picked up by Bolsa Grande again.
I don't want it, you take it. This time, Kelvin Rutledge had the ball stripped away by Xavier Mitchell. An awesome play by Mitchell. He takes it away, and Bolsa Grande picks it up with number 5, Kevin Figueroa, to jump on it. Rutledge is doing the smart thing. There you go, has the ball nice and tight, and Xavier Mitchell using the strength of that number 36 has to take it away. He couldn't hold on to it, but Kevin Figueroa was there for the Bolsa Grande to hold on to the ball. And right now, if I'm Coach Jim Lamb, I'm like, let's run the ball and let's just milk this clock and get out of here down 2 touchdowns as we go to halftime.
That's right, as now the ball is at the 35-yard line. With 2 minutes and 6 seconds left to go, ball is handed off to Jimmy Wynn. Wynn didn't get a whole lot out of that one.
But he held on to it.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10 plus. Lost about a foot on the play.
It was a nice, smooth first quarter. Second quarter, different story. real sloppy. Teams can't hold on to the ball, and nobody has been able to take advantage of turnovers. That's why it's still a 13-0 game for Lawndale.
Second and 10, 1:30 left to go in the first half. As now the ball is being pushed up towards the 45-yard line. Max Flores carrying the ball. And it'll be third down and short.
A bit surprised that Lawndale hasn't called any timeouts, trying to
I think they want to do the same thing.
just get out of here.
Nice tackle by, or nice slowdown by Gelson Cuevas, grabbing him by the shirt collar to bring him down. But Flores, a big kid. 5'6", 155. Okay, not that big. He looks a lot bigger than that.
Maybe that's his little brother.
As this is the first down by Loline. Ryan Loline, 5'11", 210 senior. 43 seconds left to go on the first down after the 3-yard gain. Just plunged over the 45-yard line. Think they'll try to heave it up there now that they're going with the wind?
Nope.
Got two wide receivers to the right side, to the near side. Let's see what goes on. Back to pass is Lohmiller. Going towards this near sideline. It's short, and it is caught. No, it's not caught.
As I was saying, of course they're going to throw it when you have trips to the side.
Brian Carillas.
Yeah, Lohmiller, not bad of a throw for a 10th grader. Really hasn't had many chances to throw tonight there. He's going to drop back. Nice form. Just put it up for his receiver, Carillas. Carillas went up there and battled and hit him in the hands.
Keenan Thompson could have had an interception if he turned around a little bit, as there's a timeout on the field with 19 and a half seconds left to go. Cardinals up 13-0. And glad that you joined us on homecoming.
Cold coming.
So the Cardinals fly off into Pioneer League action and have all tough games.
And they have a tough challenge the first week of Pioneer League action against South Torrance, who has completely dominated teams this season. They are looking strong.
Now they're dedicating their season to 2 fallen soldiers of that team, and so they really have a lot to play for.
Lawndale will take on South, then North. They're at North. At Torrance, a game that's going to be here on Hawthorne Lawndale Cable. We take the road trip all the way to Torrance.
Wow.
Host El Segundo, then they're at Centennial to round up the season.
Gee, thanks a lot, schedule maker.
Hey, that's a tough league for anybody in the Pioneer League.
Oh, yeah. Any of the teams that we cover, that would you plug them in there, that would be a tough situation for each one of the teams we cover. As Lohmiller is back to pass, almost gets sacked. Lohmiller just running for his life and is tackled out of bounds by T.J. Vanderbilt after being chased around and almost sacked by Dion Reed with 9 seconds left to go.
Lohmiller found nobody to throw to. Quarterback, smart thing, tuck it and run.
Look at old Dion go.
And he had him around the ankles. No, Lohmiller, right here is where Lohmiller needs to just say, okay, let me throw it out of bounds instead of running out. And didn't quite make it to the sideline. He gets taken that one last hit.
All that running for no gain.
Athletic looking kid though, Lohmiller.
He's going to be a good one. If he eats a few more cheeseburgers and hits the weight room. Third down and 10. Lohmiller back to pass, has a man open, but the Cardinals could have intercepted it, but it just ran in. They ran into each other. That was Vanderbilt along with Dante Batiste with 2.9 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, Lohmiller put the ball up for grabs. 2 Cardinal defenders right there waiting for it. And earlier was you take it, no, you take it. This time it was I want it, I want it.
Look at that.
And they bumped right into each other. That symbolizes how the second quarter has gone for both teams.
That's right. Now we have Mona Lisa in our way.
And she's getting stapled in the eye.
They're getting ready for homecoming, and they're right in front of us, right in our view there.
Yeah,
there you see, 2.9 seconds left, 13-0.
Getting ready for homecoming, they put up the poster of Mona Lisa as they're erecting the stage. There it is. And Mona Lisa was being
right in front of
stapled in the eye.
Okay, that's the first.
They don't have much turnaround time here. You know,
No.
this crew works almost as hard as ours.
That's right.
Almost.
Well, see, the great thing about the Channel 22 sports crew is they work with one hand because the other hand has the sandwich in it.
And if any restaurant would love to sponsor the Channel 22 crew,
Now, they'd lose money.
but you will get plenty of plugs.
Okay, where's the ball? It's 4th and 10 at the 46-yard line.
I don't know. Ask Mona Lisa.
We'll call it, yeah. It's 4th and 9 from the 48. We'll watch television with you. We'll check it. It's the 47-yard line. Lohmiller throws it deep down the middle, and it is picked off. Picked off by Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt could run it back, and he does, down to the 35-yard line, but the first half comes to an end. It was a bittersweet half for the Cardinals, who scored 2 quick touchdowns, then 2 turnovers on some big drives, and the Cardinals have a 13-0 lead over Bolsa Grande going into the locker room at the half.
Yeah, it was a good first quarter. Teams came out, and Lawndale put up 13 quick points. Bolsa Grande playing some defense, able to hold on, and second quarter was a turnover battle. It was who could have the ball here, and here a pass by Garrett Lohmiller for Bolsa Grande. As the Bolsa Grande decided to throw the ball up in the last minute, played with fire, and finally had one pass picked off as Batiste was able to run it back as the clock expired, so he had to get to the end zone. Didn't quite make it, but Batiste showing some athleticism, finally chased down by a Bolsa Grande defender. Touchdowns for Kelvin Rutledge and Travion Thomas, of course. One touchdown each, and it was a good half for Lawndale, but not as explosive as it could have been. They had plenty of opportunities in the red zone, fumbled it away, had one ball stripped away, and they weren't able to put as many points as they wanted.
All right, and are we going to be covering homecoming tonight, Tom? Okay, but before that, I want to introduce you to somebody who is very special to this Cardinal team right now, who made the trip all the way from Long Island, New York. You're going to have to take that beautiful 10-gallon hat off there. And Carlton Callaway's granddad.
That's right.
And can I get your first name, sir?
My name is Anthony.
Anthony Callaway, thank you so much for coming out there and dusting off the travel dirt. And you're here watching your grandson play.
Right. I'm enjoying it too.
I'll bet.
Oh yeah.
He did pretty good out there.
Yeah, they're doing okay.
And you taught him everything he knows out there, right?
Well, I don't know about all that now.
Okay.
I put a football in his daddy's hand when he was 3.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And it is a special event for you because you do live all the way back there on the East Coast.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And so how many games have you gotten to see him play here?
I've gotten to see him. I've seen him play one game this year, this one, and then last year I saw him go.
Well, that's terrific. That's terrific. And I hear you're an equestrian.
Yes.
You have horses? And
I have 7 horses.
wow, that's terrific. And what do you do with them out there in Long Island, of all places?
Well, Long Island has more horses per square mile than Texas.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, it's a littler place.
Yeah, right.
So if you
I
have
said-
four, if you have 4 horses,
I have 7, but per square mile. I said.
oh, okay, all right.
All right.
And I don't think there's a lot of cows out there.
Yeah, we do cow penning.
Do it really?
Yeah, I ride in competitions and so on, and I've won quite a bit, a few times. And my daughters do the high jumps in the English shows and the Hampton Classics.
Okay, all right.
And we have great show horses, and it's a lot of fun.
And also, I've heard that you've participated in some of the Macy's Thanksgiving parades.
Well, it It wasn't Macy's. It was St. Patrick's Parade.
Okay. Right.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's good.
My daughter rode in it. I went there, and I'm half American Indian, and people started just taking pictures because I had all the cowboy stuff on and so on.
Oh, that's terrific.
Yeah,
That's terrific.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
So, why don't you give us a rundown of Carleton's game here? What'd you think?
Well,
here?
look like all the fellows out there are doing pretty well, and the defense is doing well, evidently, because the other team hasn't scored. So I think they're doing great.
Well, we're going to wrap this up here quick, Anthony, but I know this is also a very special trip for you because you are battling liver cancer.
Yeah, I have liver cancer going into the lungs and the colon. I mean, and lip nose. But if I'd only gone to doctors earlier, I originally had colon cancer. It could have been checked, taken out when there was a polyp, and I would have never had cancer. So I'm telling the young fellows, go get checked once a year at least.
Okay, well, I just the clock just turned on my other half of the century, so I have to get that checked as well.
That's right. That's
All right.
If I'd done it, I wouldn't have cancer now.
All right. Well, we will do that in honor of you. And
Okay.
We will have
okay.
have that drive. Maybe we can put that together. A colon cancer check drive in honor of Anthony Callaway. We'll get that going.
Okay.
Because I have a wife who's suffering from cancer as well.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. It's a
so
rough
that's why I wanted to get you on. It is. And we appreciate you making the trip because I know that's not easy getting pressurized and depressurized and coming after what you've been going through.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm a tough guy. I keep going.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you coming out here. You do have those horse hands. There is a handshake like a vice grip.
Thanks a lot.
Anthony Callaway joining us. And now let's enjoy the Lawndale High School homecoming festivities right here on Channel 22 Sports, where Anthony Callaway's grandkid, is leading the Cardinals to a 13-0 lead going into the third quarter. Let's watch.
homecoming queen, Jackie. I'm sorry, what's your last name?
Nuno.
Jackie Nuno. How do you feel right now?
Great.
What, is this a total surprise to you? What are some of your emotions right now?
Yes, I'm surprised, of course, because there was a lot of people running that were great people. I got to meet them.
Now, last night, knowing that this was going to be a big day for you, that you're going to be nominated, did you get any sleep at all last night?
But yeah, I had to come back and work.
Did you dream about maybe this moment when you would be crowned the homecoming queen?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it as good as that dream was?
Yes.
All right.
Third quarter just about to get underway here in Lawndale. We are back after the homecoming festivities. Rashawn Haylock is going to tell us who won the homecoming queen, who was crowned, I should say, homecoming queen here for 2007. The Lady Cardinal, or Queen Cardinal. How about that? 13-0 is our score. Lawndale over Bolsa Grande. And it all started off in the first quarter right away as the Cardinals struck first. And that was scored by Travion Thomas on the first drive of the game. A two-play drive was capped off by a 48-yard touchdown run. Kick was good to make it 7-0 right off the bat. Then on the next possession, at the 4:50 mark, Kelvin Rutledge with a 28-yard run. And that has been it, as the kick was no good. Going over some numbers in the rushing department, Jimmy Wynn for the Matadors, 7 rushes for 6 yards. Ryan Loline, 9 rushes for 41 yards. Xavier Mitchell, 2 rushes for 24 yards. Max Flores, 4 rushes for 18 yards. Garrett Lowmiller, 0 for 3 in the passing department with an interception. Rushing yardage for the Cardinals. Rutledge with 4 rushes, 52 yards, a touchdown, and a fumble. Travion Thomas, 6 rushes, 77 yards, a touchdown, and a fumble. And Carlton Callaway, 6 rushes, 71 yards. Kenny Lewis in the passing department, 0 for 2 with an interception. Let's go down to Rashawn.
Thanks, guys. I had the opportunity to talk to both coaches at the half. First with Coach Gomez and Lawndale, clearly frustrated with the play of his team in that second quarter. He says he feel like they lost some focus after going up 13-0, and they got into Bolsa Grande territory 3 times, turning the ball over 3 times. Clearly frustrated about that, upset about that. You best be assured that Lawndale heard about that in the locker room at the half. In terms of Coach Lamb and the Bolsa Grande team, of course, he was happy his team was able to force some turnovers by Lawndale. However, upset that they weren't able to capitalize on those turnovers. As far as his quarterback, he says, he's pretty impressed with his play. He did a pretty good job in that first half. Just that one fumble deep in Lawndale territory. However, he says it really wasn't the quarterback's fault. He said he blames it on the center. Center had a gash in his hand on the exchange, kind of slipped out of his hand. They made some adjustments to that, so hopefully they won't have that problem throughout the rest of the game. That's second half adjustments. Back up to you guys.
All right, the fourth quarter is about to begin now. No, I'm just kidding. As the handoff goes to the right side, Jimmy Wynn with it, but doesn't get anything as the Cardinal defense comes out fired up, Beto.
Well, obviously, Coach Lamb for Bolsa Grande is going to be happy that he's able to hold down Lawndale to 13 points only, and his quarterback did look impressive. The only times he really did mess up was the exchange between the center and the quarterback where he fumbled him. And as you mentioned, Lou, it's cold out here, it's windy, that ball gets slicker, and it's harder to handle, and we've seen fumbles on both sides of the ball. Both offenses haven't been able to hold on to the rock.
Backs out of the eye for the Matadors with Garrett Lowmiller. Turns around, hands it off to Mitchell. Mitchell trying to get out of the way of one tackler, does, but runs into a wall. The initial tackler, Brandon Johnson. Third down and about 9 yards to go, 10 yards to go.
And there you can see Xavier Mitchell getting the ball, and he's going to hold it with two hands. He's really going to cover it up. As you had mentioned, Lou, the ball is slick. So obviously both coaches, both veteran coaches, told him, hey, we need to hold on to the ball. You're not going to see Mitchell, who had been running with the ball out earlier in the game, almost like a loaf of bread. This time he wraps it up like, you know, nobody's taking this from me.
3rd and 10 as the Matadors are flying right to left across your dial on Channel 22 Sports into the wind. Pitch goes to Mitchell, trying to go around the right side. Does. Speeds across the 50-yard line, down across the 40, and on the far sideline, a big 3rd down play for the Matadors.
TJ Vanderbilt saved a touchdown because Xavier Mitchell, number 36, right there on your screen, really turned on the Jets once he got around the corner for the big gain. And we've seen that from Mitchell, Lou, tonight, where he's able to get into the open field and use his explosiveness to get away from defenders, and he's not easy to take down. Mitchell goes 6 foot, 185 pounds, and there he runs away from one, but Vanderbilt able to wrap him up high. If not, Mitchell looked like he might have broken that.
A big 23-yard gain for Xavier Mitchell and the Matadors. Hand off on the delay to Loline. Loline gets good yardage. Looks like he's close to a 1st down, Beto, and the chains move again.
Dante Batiste there to bring down Loline, and this Matador squad is coming out fired up. Big run by Xavier Mitchell, followed by another nice run by Loline, and getting some good blocking from the Matadors offensive line. And Lawndale better wake up because Bolsa Grande is ready to score.
And they don't score a lot. 48 points for. The Cardinals have given up 138, but you can thank 57 of them to Lusinger. Just the start of the 3rd quarter. Cardinal defense toughening up. A little bit of a push by the Matador offense, but Jimmy Wynn can't seem to get through the Cardinal front line.
And that's a difference we hadn't seen against Xavier Mitchell and the run by Loline. Jimmy Wynn is 3rd back up, and he's going to run to 3 defenders. That's what Lawndale needs to do. They need to hit him once, hit him twice, and wrap him up with a lot of different defenders in there. Wynn wasn't able to crack through the line of scrimmage.
But still good enough for a 3-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from the 27-yard line. And now we have a whistle. Dave Kurt is the referee. Cardinal coming off is Dion Reed. And onto the field is Crawford Wilkerson, 5'3", 180-pound sophomore linebacker. So had to get the right guys out there. 2nd down and 7. Ball is pitched back to Mitchell. Mitchell hammers into one Cardinal along the sideline. Somebody took a lick. And looked like it might have been Dante Batiste.
Dante Batiste met all of Xavier Mitchell there, but give Batiste a lot of credit. Big crash and held him for no yardage there. Dante Batiste, he's going to meet Xavier Mitchell right here. A nice big crash, and then perfect job by Batiste.
Held on.
Wrap him up, bring him down. Not exactly the guy you want to go up against high on Xavier Mitchell. He's a big running back, but wrap him up, hold him on.
Big 3rd down play for the Cardinal defense. And nothing doing for the Matadors. I didn't just see a flag go in there, did I?
No, you didn't.
Because if not, it should be a no gain or very little gain.
Max Flores carried the ball there for Bolsa Grande. Here on the replay, you're going to see Flores. He's going to go up. Oh, it looked like he might have dropped the ball. That's the reason for this.
Okay, that was a sandbag going in there. So good cover up by the Matadors to keep the ball, but it's 4th down and 9 yards to go.
They're going to go for it. Lawndale needs to make sure they don't jump off sides here.
Timeout called by the Matadors.
Good timeout by Coach Jim Lamb for Bolsa Grande. You're deep into your opponent's territory, 4th down. Want to make sure you extend the drive. You got a young sophomore quarterback. Keep the momentum going, get the right play in there. not a bad time to take a timeout. Make sure you got the right people, right play, right system going.
And for the Bolsa Grande Matadors, they had one turnover, and that was lost, and that was the interception by Vanderbilt at the end of the half. But the Cardinals had 2 fumbles and lost 1 in the first half, and also had a ball picked off, so they had 2 turnovers. So we'll see who is the better cold weather team tonight.
It's not me and it's not you.
That's for sure. Lots of people. And Anthony Callaway, Carlton's granddad, said, I didn't bring any outerwear, as we see Coach Mark Gomez.
You didn't bring outerwear?
Well, that's what they call it in New York, kind of like what you have, that big pea coat.
Yeah.
He just had the jacket, and he's from upstate. He's from Long Island. I mean, they know what cold weather is up there.
This is a windbreaker for him.
Yeah.
Lou, there's no need to have a coat when you're in sunny Southern California.
Never rains here. Lohmiller rolling out to the right, has a pass, and passes on the run, gets it. It looks like it's a first down as the pass went to Nick Espinoza. And that was a little bit of razzle-dazzle for Bolsa Grande, pulling that one out of the hat.
The tight end, Nick Espinoza, first time he gets his name called, and it's a good one. A big first down pickup on 4th and 9. Lohmiller fakes the handoff, and he's going to roll out. And he's looking for somebody to get open. Espinoza was the only one. Nice pass by Lohmiller to his wide-open tight end, and Espinoza is going to take a hit from T.J. Vanderbilt, but after he had the first down. Bolsa Grande extends the drive, and they're knocking on the door.
That's right, down inside the 20-yard line. Big defensive play by the Cardinal defense. Hit at the line of scrimmage was Mitchell. And a loss on the play, Beto, of a yard at least.
Lots of credit to Dion Reed and Brandon Johnson. Those two able to bring down Xavier Mitchell. There you're going to see Johnson throw Mitchell back for the loss of yards. Big job.
So the Cardinal defense toughen up. This is the deepest penetration by the Matadors tonight with 7:10 left to go in the third quarter. And the Cardinals up 13-0.
Also the most impressive drive by Bolsa Grande on this game.
Mitchell with it, bounces outside, and another good push by the Cardinal defense. Very little gain there.
Xavier Mitchell was met at the line of scrimmage by Marcus Manigo. Mitchell stiffed arm number 9 Manigo, and then he held on, not letting go of Mitchell's legs, and Mitchell couldn't shake loose, and he's going to get taken down. Nice play by number 9. There you see him get a fist in the face mask and able to keep on going, and actually Manigo had some help from one of his defenders.
It's Kenny Perez in there, number 51. So a big third down play. Back to passes Lohmiller, rolling out, throwing, and just over the head of Espinoza on that same play.
Same play, didn't work
wide
this
open.
time. Wide open, Lohmiller, just too much on that throw over his tight end. And Espinoza's 6 foot, so you know you got to be throwing it high to get it over his head. And another factor, Lou, Lohmiller is throwing into the wind, so he's got to put a little extra oomph on his throws.
He just lofted it up there. If there would have been a free safety in the neighborhood, that could have been picked off. But it's 4th down and 11 yards to go from the 16-yard line. We'll see if the Matadors are going to go for it. Looks like they are. The field goal unit is on the shelf. Back split behind Lohmiller. And the quick pass to Espinoza again. And too high for Espinoza. And again, maybe the grip on the ball by Lohmiller just can't quite grip it.
It was the right call, the right play, just poor execution there. Lohmiller just took a one-step drop, got back, fired it, but out of the reach of his tight end Espinoza, who was open again. Big job by the defensive for Lawndale. They were able to push back Bolsa Grande's impressive drive that just stalled near the goal line. Now Lawndale will get the ball back and see if they can chew up some clock and some yards.
And the ball will be marked, Beto, at the 16-yard line. be 1st and 10. Ball deep in their own zone as the Cardinals dodge a bullet. Kenny Lewis. And the ball is fumbled on the snap. Kenny Lewis couldn't get a handle on it. So no gain. But there we had a penalty before that. Let's watch this. That had to be an illegal shift. Oops, that was ugly.
So you're telling me when the linemen move and the ball doesn't, that's bad?
Somebody missed something.
It happens.
Whoops.
That's one thing you see from Lawndale. They're a real discipline on the offensive front. They don't have many mistakes. They don't have many illegal formations, and that time just...
Now Rutledge with it in full speed, trying to get around his man. Still on his feet near the 20-yard line. Gets some yardage back, gets some positive yardage after about a 10-yard gain. But still, it's going to be 2nd down and a long way to go.
Lou, let me ask you this. Running backs Rutledge and Thomas are both back there without gloves on their hands. We've seen the exchanges, and the ball's been slippery. Would the gloves help them at all?
It could if they had them. Don't know if they even have them. You just don't know.
For future games, after they watch this wonderful rebroadcast
on Channel 22 Sports. So the ball goes up to the 20-yard line after the 9-yard gain. Travion Thomas with it. Thomas trying to get up to the 25-yard line, but he was hit, and a good open field tackle made by the Matadors.
Travion Thomas did what a smart running back does. You follow your big offensive lineman. This time, Kenny Perez. You're going to see him pulling out from the guard position, and he's just going to flatten a Bolsa Grande defender. Thomas goes on the outside, picks up a couple extra yards. Nice job by Kenny Perez, number 51, the lineman for Lawndale.
Kevin Figueroa on the tackle for Bolsa Grande. 4:40 and counting, 13-0. Lawndale leads. Look like they're going to blitz. It's on the run. Good hole opened up by the Cardinals. And spinning through on the big 3rd down play, and a 1st down by Carlton Callaway.
And there you see Callaway been pounding the ball tonight and missed last week with a sore shoulder. Gets up this time, moving his right shoulder a bit as Callaway takes a couple nice hits towards the end of the run.
Yeah, it's a little nippy out there. Also, doesn't help when you're getting whacked on it by a couple of big guys like Max Flores and Xavier Mitchell. But at any rate, it's 1st and 10. Let's see if the Cardinals can... Yep, what happened here? We got a timeout by the Matadors. And let's see if the Cardinals can convert into the end zone for the first time since the first quarter, Beto.
Yeah, they have a drive going here with Carlton Callaway with a nice run there, and they're extending the drive. That's been a problem, though, for Lawndale this game. This isn't a team that's used to stalling on their drives, Lou. They're used to putting up points. 53 against Sierra Vista, 41 against Bishop Montgomery, 54 against Animo. Granted, Animo's a lower team, but you still got to drive the ball and get the ball into the end zone. And
right.
Here, take away the first quarter, Lawndale's offense has been stagnant.
It sure has. And the defense really has been keeping him in the ball game here, because the last drive by Bolsa Grande was really something there that got turned away by the defense. And an interception, but the defense has been coming up pretty good here for Lawndale. It's been the offense, like you say, who hasn't really gotten it through.
And it's been the opposite all season long, where it's the defense giving up the points and the offense picking it up. This time the roles are reversed. And granted, the Lawndale defense is doing a great job containing Xavier Mitchell, who is a nice running back for Bolsa Grande.
Big guy, big shoulders, runs downhill. Ball is to the first man through for the Cardinals is Carlton Callaway. And Callaway bangs his way for another 5-6 yards. 2nd down and short for the Cardinals.
Lou, you're good. I never even knew Callaway had the ball. I was following Kelvin Rutledge come around the corner. I thought he had it. Thought he was going to get taken for a loss, and Callaway's up the middle for a nice gain. Good job, Lou
I've been
Stowers.
lucky. I have been lucky tonight.
You were flipping the right coin.
That's it. Better to be lucky than good on some nights.
I'll be good looking
You're good looking.
instead of lucky.
This one goes to Rutledge, and he has a first down. All the way up to the 44-yard line. So a good run of 9 yards for Kelvin Rutledge.
And this is what the Lawndale offense needs to do. Callaway gets you the 3-4 hard yards, then Rutledge and Thomas get you the nice long runs. Build the momentum, build the drive, continue with the long yardage.
And also in the first half, penalties hurt the Cardinal offense and defense, as there were 5 penalties for 35 yards. On the offensive side of the ball, there were 3 for 20 yards. So that was big in the second quarter when a lot of flags were flying.
Speaking of flags,
I think we got a little bit of time problem.
and you're saying they were going so well.
Yeah, the Stowers jinx. 7 penalties now for 45 yards. And this one goes back to the 40-yard line. But it'll be 1st and 15. We'll call it the 39. Man in motion is Rutledge. Callaway got fooled on that one. Man open is Jabari Lewis on the catch. Lewis is running into the house. Touchdown, Lawndale. Terrific fake by Kenny Lewis. Jabari went flying down the middle on the post pattern, and it's 19-0 Cardinals.
A nice play all around. Lewis drops back with the fake, and then he's just going to step back and throw his favorite receiver, Jabari Lewis, goes up high, gets the ball using nice long arms. He had beaten the defender, Kevin Figueroa, and after you run the ball so much, the best way to keep a defense honest is throw it once, and there you see Jabari Lewis beating the entire secondary. Nobody there to get him. Lawndale with a nice touchdown pass.
Boy, he sure did look like one of those beautiful thoroughbred horses running down the stretch at Santa Anita on Oak Tree. Just nice long strides into the end zone,
And
chewing up the yardage.
And nice throw by Kenny Lewis to get him in stride, and you always want to hit your receiver in stride. That way he can look with that beautiful gait.
Kenny Lewis, 61 yards on the pass and run to Jabari Lewis.
And I think Rashawn might have something for us.
Let's go downstairs.
Thanks, guys. You guys know as well as I do, this coaching staff has been trying to find ways to get Jabari Lewis the ball since opening week. Obviously, they found something and it paid off there on that last play. But who was not in there on that last play? Travion Thomas, the running back, was snatched out during that drive. Coaching staff clearly upset with him, telling him to block. Travion Thomas, apparently to the coaching staff, was not blocking anybody. They said block somebody, find somebody, get a hat on somebody, and get into him. Didn't feel like Travion was doing it, so he's sitting now for that. We'll send it back upstairs to you.
Thanks, Rashawn. We'll see if the Cardinals want to try to tack on 2, or will they go for the 1? Looks like they're going to go for 2 because Kenny Lewis is out there, not Eddie Alvarado, the place kicker. 2:33 left to go. Man in motion. And the man in motion gets it is Travion Thomas, who must have blocked somebody because he pirouettes into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. It's 21-0, Lawndale.
Trayvon Thomas might be in the doghouse for not blocking, but he can run and he can spin and he can get into the end zone for that 2-point conversion. Thomas just comes in from the receiver spot, and he's going to just spin his way into the end zone, takes the hit by Figueroa. A little bit too late as Thomas gets in.
And that was a 9-play drive, 84 yards, completed by the 61-yard pass play from Kenny Lewis to Jabari Lewis. And the 2-point conversion was good. That took 3 minutes and 50 seconds. So a very good drive and a good quick strike by the Cardinals to get something on the board for the first time since the first quarter.
Yeah, Bolsa Grande's been knocking on the door, haven't been able to get in. Lawndale keeps pushing them away, but this touchdown extending to a 3-possession game will help Lawndale get some breathing room. And Jabari Lewis, 61-yard touchdown reception. That's good for your numbers, right?
Oh, absolutely. Let's see, coming into the ball game. Well, let's watch the kickoff first. Kickoff is taken by the Matadors across the 40-yard line. Jimmy Wynn getting a nice run back in good field position for his sophomore quarterback, Garrett Lohmiller.
Wynn came across, caught the ball, and you know one thing, he's not scared to take a hit because Wynn's going to run right at you. Follow his blockers, they're taken down low. A nice job by that blur of a Cardinal that just came flying in.
And Dion Reed took out about 3 or 4 people, and then Jimmy Wynn went flying.
You know Cardinals can fly, but whoa, that one was low to the ground.
It was like a bull on the little Matador. Just flipped him up. Dion Reed, the Bull Cardinal, as Jimmy Wynn. No, that's not Jimmy Wynn. Was that Loline?
Loline, Ryan
Dion
Loline.
Reed, again, getting him by the shoe tops.
You know, the tackle that Reed
Fired up.
had on Wynn is the worst kind because, you know, you think you're flying, you think you're going, you're trying to avoid the big edge coming at you, and then all of a sudden, your feet just go, whoop, they're gone. And there you go. That's a normal tackle. You see the guy coming at you. Loline knows he's going to get hit. But when you're going full bore and you just get tripped up, you're like, what? How? What? Where?
It's like a car wreck that you don't see coming out of the driveway and somebody smacks you in the side door. There's some car wrecking going on there as the Matadors push the chains.
Bolsa Grande has some nice running backs with Ryan Loline, who carried the ball that time, and Jimmy Wynn, and then Xavier Mitchell with the athleticism. They're mixing it up well. They just can't get the ball in the red zone and take advantage of the good field position that they've received on kickoff returns.
And they bust into the Lawndale territory down to the 46-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 there.
In their game last week, Bolsa Grande only scored 6 points. They're averaging 12 per game. They haven't been shut out this season, though.
Now we have a Matador down at midfield. Don't know if we can see him, who it is.
Looks like they're working on one of the linemen. He's a big guy.
Let's hope it's just a cramp.
Looks like it might be Ulysses Sordo, the 52.
Yeah, he's a big guy, just needed a little rest there. Shaking that left leg.
It is Sordo. He's a lineman. He's one of the guys creating the big holes for Xavier Mitchell and Ryan Loline and the other 8,000 running backs that they have at Bolsa Grande. Well, if you're a running back, you want to go to Bolsa Grande. You're going to get your carries.
And traditionally in that Garden Grove League, Bolsa Grande has been right up there. And if you're wondering where they are, they're right off the Garden Grove Freeway. And Brookhurst, I believe.
Would that be the 22?
That would be the 22, yeah. The newly refurbished 22. Now you used to be able to watch the ball games there as Wynn carries the ball for no gain, a good defensive push by the Cardinals. But now they put a big sound wall up there so you can't see the games.
Oh, that's the school next to they have like an indoor soccer area around there.
Exactly.
So that's Bolsa Grande. I always wondered what school that was. Now I get to know them up close and personal. The little football program that they have over there.
It is.
As does Lawndale.
It's a real melting pot of cultures over there in that area too. As the ball is dropped by Lohmiller, and who's got the ball? Is it the Cardinals?
Looks like
Looks like
Loline came up with it. Yeah,
So-
it is a melting pot, Lou. You're right. When you have a Mitchell, a Loline, a Wynn, a Lohmiller, an Esparza, a Baumback, another Wynn, a Mesa, a Baez, and a Garcia.
So a lot of big fellas and a lot of little fast guys.
That's some good food.
That's right. You won't go hungry with all those moms.
We got priorities, Lou.
Yeah, that's right.
Our crew does.
And the horn sounds to end the third quarter of play. And the Cardinals score a touchdown, a big one, a bomb. Kenny Lewis to Jabari Lewis, 61 yards. It's 21-0 Lawndale over Bolsa Grande on homecoming nights. And we'll take a timeout on Channel 22 Sports. And let's go down to Rashawn.
Nice. It was way back in 1966. The Lawndale Cardinal football team won the CIF championship. And it hasn't been since then that a football team here for Lawndale High School has worn the black jerseys until tonight. We talked about it before the game, how the season started off 3-1 for the Cardinals, and the coaching staff felt that they were playing so good they need to be rewarded, and why not reward them by letting them wear the black uniforms? So much a surprise to the Cardinals football players that before the game they didn't even know they're going to dress up in the black uniforms tonight. Guys, you know, we saw them warming up. They had the red on red. They went in the locker room right before the game and changed. Totally fired up this team. They came out, jumped out 13-0 over Bolsa Grande. Right now up 21-0 going into the fourth. Send it back up to you guys.
Thank you very much, Rashawn Haylock. Big third down play at the 47-yard line. And yeah, the Cardinals were really chirping during their warm-ups, that's for sure. 12 minutes put up on the clock. Cardinals looking to extend their win streak to 4 games. Lohmiller back to pass, thrown with the wind, throws it downfield. It is picked off by the Cardinals. Vanderbilt has it. Vanderbilt going down the near sideline, has one man to beat, gets by him and inside the 10-yard line. Big interception, the second one of the night for TJ Vanderbilt.
Garrett Lohmiller was playing with fire there. He drops back and had no intended receiver. Under some pressure, he just put it up for grabs. TJ Vanderbilt right there like a center fielder to pick it off, and he's going to use his speed to go up the sidelines. And if it wasn't for a nice tackle by Ryan Lolene, Vanderbilt would have had a touchdown. As there, he's going to get past the quarterback. Lohmiller right there puts a nice move on him. And then Lolene able to bring down Vanderbilt, giving Lawndale great field possession to open up the fourth quarter.
Down to the 12-yard line. Close to a 40-yard return, about a 35-yard return. Trevion Thomas, that was Carlton Callaway, is hit behind the line of scrimmage, so Bolsa Grande answers back with a big defensive play.
Lawndale needs to take advantage of this turnover, Lou. They've got into the end zone. They haven't really been able to do much. And as you know, you never get anything on your jackets. Carlton Callaway had the ball popped out, able to hold on to it.
That's right, a full metal jacket there. Kenny Lewis looking in.
I mean, you got your hot dogs out here with your ketchup and mustard.
And the onions and the relish.
Oh, man.
And the burgers, too.
You know, you don't want to get any on the Letterman jacket. As Callaway's little brother's walking around with the hot dog, and now I'm seeing the meat. He has that hot dog far, far away from that jacket.
2-yard gain for Callaway. Got something out of it. Now we have a whistle down. And is the Cardinal defense discombobulating here? So a penalty, 5-yarder.
Delay a game on the Cardinals.
Taking too much time.
And there you see Jabari Lewis with that big 61-yard reception. You know, if I'm a receiver like Lewis and I had that nice play, I'm going to go up to Kenny Lewis, my quarterback, and say, hey, man, I know you can hit me for 15 yards right now.
That's right, do a jump ball maybe against the wind.
He's the tallest one out there.
Yep, sure is. So the ball is at the 16-yard line after the penalty. 8 for 50 yards on the penalty. Down deep into the territory is Thomas getting inside the 10-yard line. So it'll be a big third down play the Cardinals.
Yeah, it was a fake to Callaway. Then Travion Thomas came across and he takes the handoff from Lewis. And before he's taken down by Xavier Mitchell. And this is 2-down territory because Lou doesn't look like Lawndale has their kicker out here tonight. So this might be 2-down territory.
Number 13, is he down there somewhere?
No, Eddie Alvarado's not here, and Jabari Lewis has been doing the kickoffs.
And now, do we have another delay of game? Yep. And that's not good because now you're taking yourself out of the ball game again. 2 penalties on this drive for 10 yards, Beto, and you can't keep getting 5 yards taken off and gaining 6 back. So now it's 3rd down and 12 for the 1st down. Ball goes to Thomas around the left side, gets a good block. Is he going to go for the end zone? Yes! Touchdown, Lawndale. Travion Thomas with a big 13-yard touchdown run.
Well, that's the whole intention of having the delay in game, Lou, to push you back a little bit farther so Travion Thomas can get that 13-yard touchdown. He's going to turn around the corner, going to follow a nice block by number 50, Jesse Perez, and then Jabari Lewis is going to come in and also give another one for Thomas, who was able to spring around the corner, get inside. A lot of determination on Travion Thomas as he's going to put Lawndale up by 4 scores.
That was a pretty run as the ball is kicked up, and it is no good.
Yeah, Jesse Perez, who had the nice block on the line, is now kicking. He's smiling as he's coming away going, hey, I fell about 5 yards short. Maybe the echo.
He got it in the air.
That's half the battle. Maybe the echo we hear in our headphones, he had it in his leg or something. I don't know. But Lawndale is now up 27-0 here in the 4th quarter with 9:58 to go as they are starting to pull away from Bolsa Grande as the Matadors have no answer for Travion Thomas and the Lawndale offense.
So a turnover is cashed in for 6 points by the Cardinals, and that's good to see. You have to do that, and they've been doing that with regularity. That's the 9th interception of the year for the Cardinal defense. Let's go to Rashawn.
Thanks, guys. The injury woes continue here for Lawndale High School. Galda Sanza, he's also offensive lineman for this Cardinal football team. But because of the patient privilege, the EMT couldn't tell me too much about the injury other than to say he was hit earlier on in the game at the line of scrimmage. However, he's been out for quite some time, and he will not be returning in this one. Another offensive lineman goes down for this Lawndale High School football team. Send it back up to you guys.
Thank you very much, Rashawn Haylock.
One lineman goes down, and the good thing is you're up by 4 scores and get them out of there.
Jesse Perez, though, has been doing a good job. But who's doing a good job here? That looks like Loline. Ryan Loline gets way inside of Cardinal territory, inside the 30-yard line for the Matadors. It'll be 1st and 10, and they're really in business now.
Yeah, Loline steps in front of Xavier Mitchell and just waits for the wedge to break, and then Loline's going to get through the hole, and a nice run by Loline. Really impressed by the way Bolsa Grande has been able to return kickoffs. Granted, Lawndale has been down there to cover them, but Loline and Xavier Mitchell have really been able to find the seam, get loose, and able to get Bolsa Grande some good field position, but they haven't been able to take advantage on the offensive side.
So it's 1st and 10, back split. Low Miller gives it to the fullback, Loline. Kind of hops, skips, and he takes a header as he ran into Dion Reed. So he does a somersault for about a yard, maybe 2 yards.
And there you see Dion Reed just coming in and taking the legs out of Loline. You know, back to going what Rashawn was saying, Lou, you have the injuries on your offensive linemen, but you know, you're up by 4 scores. Get them out of there. Get some of your young guys some experience. Rest some guys. Granted, the game is not over. You don't want to have that mentality, but with 9:14 to go, you don't want to see any more injuries when the game looks to be in your possession.
2nd down and 8, 9:04 left to go in the ball game. Ball is handed off to Flores, trying to kick it outside. Good defense by the Cardinals to spread it out and end it.
Marcus Manigo coming in around the corner and holding the Bolsa Grande running back, unable to get anything going. Number 41, Max Flores.
So maybe a yard on the play, Beto, but look at the block that was shed. Right there is King.
He gets around 1, and just a good open field tackle there.
So a gain of 1 on the play will give Flores. Actually, how about a loss of 1 to the 26-yard line? 3rd down and 9 yards to go for the Matadors. A big 3rd down play for the Cardinals after the big kickoff return by the Matadors on the touchdown. Misdirection play and nowhere to go but backwards. Good defensive play. Lolene had nowhere to go. It's as if the Lawndale defense knew what was coming.
Raphael King there, number 88, the junior on the end, and just gonna able to hold on to Lolene. Perfect job of containing his spot.
He didn't get touched.
Not one bit, and that's a good job by Raphael King of not over pursuing and allowing the ball to go around him. He held his position, able to bring down Ryan Lolene for another loss.
4 yards on the loss. It'll be 4th down and 12. Back at the 30-yard line. And also in on the tackle was Gelson Cuevas as the ball is passed to the tight end Espinoza again, but nothing doing again. The Cardinals sniffed it out, and there is Mr. Vanderbilt.
TJ Vanderbilt doing a good job in that safety position. Vanderbilt already with the interception and the big return there shielded the tight end.
2 interceptions
That's
tonight.
right. 2 interceptions. I'm sorry, TJ Vanderbilt. You 2 interceptions. Let's get that right. Good job back there on the secondary. As it now, Lawndale has the ball on possession.
It's also the ball was tipped, it looked like, by Kumar Tiger, maybe?
Love that name.
That's right. The eye of the tiger. Big 1st down run by the Cardinals. About 4 yards on the gain. Is that Mr. Callaway?
Lawndale with 7 minutes to go here in this game. They just need to milk the clock, a nice long drive, get something going, and end this game on a positive note as they head into what will be a tough Pioneer League action as the fans are waving at us. And now they're fighting, Lou. Oh, my goodness.
Uh-oh, WWE right
No,
here on
no.
Channel 22.
Never want to see teammates going at it.
Hate that. Just keep the chairs and the ladders and the trash cans over.
Just like when you and your director, Tom Strickfaden, fight all the time. You don't like seeing it.
Over the last sandwich. Trevion Thomas gets the pitch around the right side. Thomas down to the 50-yard line. Thomas gets free. Thomas going to the house. Thomas has 1 man to beat and is drugged down at the 10-yard line by Xavier Mitchell. And Trevion Thomas doing a job.
With Trevion Thomas with the impressive run earlier in the game, Rashawn Haylock told us that Thomas was benched because he wasn't blocking. Well, now he's running on fire, and he takes the nice pitch out on the outside, starts on the far side of the field, is going to cut across the middle. Great camera work by our crew down there as they're focused on Thomas the whole way, and he was able to get away from most defenders but give one.
Uh-oh. There's a flag. So a 66-yard run is negated. It'll get back to about midfield, though, and then come back around the 42-yard line. So it would have been a 66-yard run.
It was a nice call by you, Lo.
Thank you. Trevion says, what happened? Did we get the call on that penalty? It's a face mask. Would he miss a face mask? Oh, there's a face mask right there defensively. That's just a good old stiff arm.
That is beyond a stiff arm.
But it'll be 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. 42-yard line. And now the Cardinals get away again and get in the defensive backfield. Is that Carlton Callaway?
It was Jamal Fleming, a sophomore, making his first carry of the game. Fleming, number 25, goes 5'10", 175. Also plays a defensive back. So Fleming is It's one of those younger guys we were talking about, Lou, where you want to give them some carry, some experience, and don't want to burn your starters out. No need to risk injury right now.
Well, with 5:54, why not? Some of the Cardinal fans. So a nice 8-yard gain by Fleming up to the 50-yard line. Ball is pitched, and that's Callaway. And Callaway gets a first down. Let's watch this push as Callaway gets it, the first man through. Nice hole, nice big hole. The blocking continues. Got to give that one to Marco Ramirez with the big, big hole. That one goes all the way down to the 45-yard line of Bolsa Grande. So a 5-yard gain for Callaway and a first down.
Offensive line really impressive tonight for Lawndale, getting their running backs a lot of room to run.
And this time Kelvin Rutledge can't go anywhere but backwards as Ian Finney in the game for Bolsa Grande with the big hit. So a big loss of about 6 yards. Now we'll give him 5-yard loss. Well, that's not Finney. That's not funny either.
Kevin Figueroa.
So it'll be 2nd down and 15, and it's good to see the Cardinals come out, the Cardinal fans come out.
Been on their feet since the opening kickoff.
When you win, they will come. A little bit of movement on the right side of the line, and everybody's yellow flag comes out. So it'll be 2nd down and 20.
When you win, Hawthorne Lawndale Cable shows up.
That's right. We show up no matter what.
Yeah,
We love them all. And where will we be next week, Beto? South, right back here at the Cardinal Nest. And the Pioneer League opener.
Oh.
And Francisco, our terrific production person, as the blitz comes. Kenny Lewis gets away from it, throws it downfield. Jabari Lewis going up for it. Oh my goodness, big defensive play and a flag in the backfield.
Probably going to be a personal foul. Might be roughing the passer.
And we'll find out as
No, it looked like Kenny Lewis passed the line of
the line
scrimmage.
of scrimmage, yeah.
Well, regardless, he did take a big shot.
I didn't think it was going to be roughing the passer because the flag was way across the other side of the field. So, yep. This one is going to go back to the 40-yard line on a loss of down. Travion Thomas out, probably for another receiver. Nope, just the sophomore running back and Jamal Fleming. So 3rd down and a whole lot, about 25 yards to go. Lewis rolling out on the option play, throws it downfield. It's going to get picked off. It should have been picked off. But that one was like a wounded dove on Labor Day.
Wait a minute. A wounded dove on Labor Day.
That's opening day of dove season. Just folded one wing and just flopped down onto the field.
I got to write that one down. Labor Day is the opening day of dove season?
Yeah.
Because you go dove hunting all around here?
Not anymore. Well, not around here.
You live by the beach, Lou. Where do you go dove hunting?
I'll never tell.
Man.
Look out. Jabari Lewis has to run because the punt would have been blocked and out of bounds, and that's got to be some sort of a penalty because Finney really threw Jabari Lewis, tackled him after he was out of bounds, but no flag.
No flag, and Bolsa Grande will get the good field position on the busted fake punt attempt. And Jabari Lewis was going to punt that right into a Bolsa Grande defender, pulled it down, and there you're going to see Figueroa come over, tackle him out of bounds, and you're right, Lou. What was the flag on that?
I don't know.
And there we see Lawndale and going to be on defense now.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line of Lawndale for Bolsa Grande. 4:06 left to go. Jimmy Wynn with his best run of the game. Busts his way across the 35-yard line. Should be good enough for a first down. And it is a 10-yard run for Jimmy Wynn. And that is his longest gain of the night.
Jimmy Wynn's been a good runner for Bolsa Grande as they open up league action next week. Also, Bolsa Grande is going to give a lot of teams in that Garden Grove League a run for their money as Lawndale opens up the big, tough Pioneer League with us on the call.
And South, there goes the running backs again, opening holes. A new running back for Bolsa Grande checking in, Eric Meza.
South is a pretty good team. They're going for the sweep of the Torrance schools tonight as they're taking on North. And South is taking care of Torrance. They beat West. And they can complete the trifecta if they take care of North tonight. The South has a pretty good offense as they come into Lawndale next week.
That's going to be a tough one, especially for the defense. Cardinal defense is going to have to play all 48 minutes in that game, that's for sure. Ball is handed off to Jimmy Wynn. Wynn following his big hogs up front. And it's another first down, a good drive on the ground for Bolsa Grande.
South is a bit like Bolsa Grande, a bigger team, but they love to run the ball. They love to pound it down your throat. And South, as we saw last year when they took on Hawthorne, is a good, fundamentally sound team. That's why they're one of the best in the South Bay. It's going to be a big challenge for Lawndale. One that I think Lawndale's up for.
Yeah, they're very well coached, that's for sure, Beto. You have a timeout. Lawndale and Coach Mark Gomez want to talk it over as they've just been rocked on their heels by 3 straight big runs. It'll be first and 10 from the 15-yard line. So a good crowd here for homecoming.
Always a good crowd at homecoming.
That's right.
That youngster sitting right in front of us.
He looks like he's ready to go swimming. Here's the game. Plays for the Cubs. Is it Harry Carey? Little Harry Carey there. 2:50 left to go in the ball game. Ball is handed off. Mitchell has it. Mitchell trying to get around the corner and does, and gets into the end zone for the touchdown. So Xavier Mitchell breaks the goose egg, and it's 27-6, and a good drive put together by Bolsa Grande.
Nice drive by Bolsa Grande. Xavier Mitchell has run hard all game long. Really athletic senior for the Matadors. Good to see him get that touchdown there as Mitchell and the rest of his line have worked really hard all night, just haven't been able to get into the end zone. There you see the persistence pay off as Mitchell sheds one tackler, and he's going to meet one at the goal line, and he's going to just fight his way in for the first touchdown of the game for Bolsa Grande.
And it looks like the kick is up, and wide to the left is kicking the ball was Eric Meza. Normally, the kicker is Jesus Esarza. But the kick was no good, so it's 27-6. Xavier Mitchell on the 15-yard run completes the 4-play drive. That took 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So I wonder if the Cardinal defensive line is getting a little worn down.
They're getting a bit worn down, and that's what a team that's just going to run the ball every single down like Bolsa Grande is going to do will do to you this late in the game, and that is what they're going to see against South Torrance. They're going to need to keep that persistence and that strength up, and that conditioning factor is really going to be key as they head into Pioneer League action.
Just noticing that in the fourth quarter, that just kind of wearing down. And boy, you mentioned teams like South, very physically fit, a lot of tradition there. Hey, how'd he get in there?
And Lucinger has a home game, so it's homecoming week, though. You know, you got to welcome all, Lou.
That's right. You gotta get somehow. You gotta get maybe not a scouting report, I don't think, but just enjoying the show here. And that was an onside kick by the Matadors. And let's see if Bolsa Grande picked it up. Nope.
It didn't go
Lawndale does.
10 yards, so Lawndale gets the ball. With 2:41 to go.
All they have to do is sit on it and run the clock. Maybe get one first down to endorse this check and put it in the bank.
Lou, you got some good ones. You got the Dove story, endorse this check, and put it in the bank. Don't you have direct deposit?
Do now, yeah, but here you got to work for it. You know, you're working for a living. You want that paper in your hand.
Wow, look at you calling it paper.
You want that.
That's right, Lou. You call some cheese, some bread.
Got to get the Benjamins. First and 10. I'm glad I'm entertaining you.
Oh, Lou Stowers. He's here all week. Try the veal.
No, we'll be back next week. What the heck you talking about? No, we don't do veal.
I'll try the sandwich.
There you go. Carlton Callaway, though, he's got a lot of beef, and he just punched another 4-yarder.
Lou, you're on fire here in the last couple minutes, Lou Stowers.
It's been a long day. I'm a little punchy right now. But this is the best part of the day, when you can have fun and watch everybody come out and watch their high school, root them on.
Especially when you're a Lawndale fan and you get to come out and see them take care of business as they're up 27-6 with 2 minutes to go.
5-yard gain for Callaway. And there they go. Cardinals are on the move again as Rutledge takes it way downfield, down about the 25-yard line. So a first down on the 18-yard run by Kelvin Rutledge.
Nice run by Kelvin Rutledge. Gets up the middle, finds a seam, and he's able to break loose, and he just keeps them legs going. Rutledge taken down. A bit of a face mat, not called, but Rutledge taken down by 4-5 Matadors there. And Rutledge isn't the biggest guy, 5'6", 155, but he runs hard. And there you see head coach Jim Lamb from Bolsa Grande.
Lawndale trying to put the nail in the coffin. Travion Thomas is tackled from behind. Good defensive play by Mikhail Lowry. 1:15 clock running. A 6-yard loss. First negative run for Carlton Callaway. So we're going to go back to the 30-yard line. One thing I got to mention, Anthony Callaway, Carlton's granddad, was saying that they're related to Cab Calloway, the old cabaret singer, the big band singer.
That's some lineage right there.
That is. Lewis hands it off to Rutledge. Rutledge trying to run around the right end. Does. Gets the first down. Trying to get to the first down marker, but there's that yellow laundry right around the 20-yard line. And it's going to be against the Cardinals. And you can tell right by that facial expression. My unofficial count, that's at least the 10th penalty on the Cardinals.
And that's where Coach Mark Gomez is not going to be satisfied. When he goes back to look at the film of this game, he's going to notice, besides the block in the back, that his team was a bit sloppy. You know, they might be winning by 3 possessions, but they weren't crisp. They weren't as sharp as they should have been against the Bolsa Grande team.
It was Luis Castillo that ran over a Bolsa Grande Matador from behind. So it'll be second down and 20 yards to go from the 30-yard line. And what's this?
Movement on Lawndale. Speaking of not being crisp and sharp.
That's right. That's what happens when you get a little tired. it's a good thing these Cardinals have the lead. It's Coach Gomez saying, let's tighten them up.
You got to be mistake-free when you head into Pioneer League action where every possession is big.
So this one's going to go back, and this one's going to do it. 5 seconds left to go, and you can put this one in the bank. The Cardinals win 27-6 over Bolsa Grande to win their 4th straight, and also have another big win to go 4-1. And Bolsa Grande falls to 2-3 as both teams go into league action.
Lawndale comes out and wins 27-6. Not as sharp as they would like to be, but really impressive running by Kelvin Rutledge, Travion Thomas, the running back. We expect that, but Jabari Lewis connecting with a 61-yard big pass play, finally getting the receiver into the mix. And then how about TJ Vanderbilt, Lou, back there in the secondary, 2 interceptions. That's what you like to see from your defense stepping up big, as Bolsa Grande had a good running game, unable to get anything going as they were stifled by the strong defensive line of Lawndale.
It was a bend but don't break, only giving up 1 touchdown late. And let's go down to Rashawn.
Thanks a lot, guys. Here with Lawndale head coach Mark Gomez. Coach, first of all, homecoming tonight, big win. You guys shut them out. What does this do for the seniors?
Every homecoming that we've had since we've had varsity football, we've had a loss. So again, I made it specifically this point again with the surprise with the black jerseys and everything, bringing it back old school, back to the '60s. Again, I want to make it very clear that it's a new tradition. It's a new year. I want to win for these seniors so bad because I've been with this group for 4 years, and this group definitely deserves it.
A little bit about that, about the black jerseys. First time since the '60s that these have been brought out. Tonight, you guys brought them out. The team definitely responded with a win here tonight. Is this something we can see, perhaps in the future? And kind of what was the motivation behind that?
Again, the motivation was back like the 1966 team, CAAF champs. So again, the last time we've seen those black jerseys has been a long time, almost like about 40 some odd years. So again, the theme for this year, I was telling the boys, was just, again, a new tradition. And I was really stressing to them that if you put on this black jersey, you better respect the people that have been here, because this is a long tradition that I don't think these guys fully quite understand. And I'm still trying to understand myself because I'm a young coach. But again, I'm trying to teach these guys respect. And if you're going to put on that black jersey, you better bring something. You better bring something.
Talked about it before the game. South next week. This is the end of the non-league road. You got South coming up next week, Pioneer League play. What are your thoughts? How are your feelings with the non-league schedule wrapping up and heading into league play?
We have so much respect for South. Their defense is outstanding. John White is a guy that we're going to be looking at, and their quarterback is pretty solid. So we definitely have a work cut out for us. I think it's a situation where it's strength on strength. I think our offense is our strength on this team. I think their defense is their strength on their team. So I think it'll be a great matchup for us, and it'll be a real test for us to see if we can move the ball on them. Again, if we can move the ball on them, then who knows what can happen during the league.
And lastly, Coach, I know you're somewhat a perfectionist. You was clearly upset at the half, even though your team was up 13-0. What did you think about that last touchdown you guys allowed towards the end of the quarter?
I was waiting and telling the defense for I want that goose egg so bad, but that last 7, again, these boys worked their heart out, and maybe just like 1 or 2 little breakdowns that I'm not satisfied. We'll talk to the boys right now. So.
Well, definitely. Thanks a lot, Coach. All right, head coach Mark Gomez, the Lawndale Cardinals, winners tonight, 4-1 on the season, opening up league play next week against a very tough South Torrance team. Send it back upstairs to you guys.
Great job, Rashawn Haylock. Thank you very much. And wow, the first time they uncorked the black jerseys, and it is a success on homecoming, 27-6 in favor of Lawndale, who improves to 4-1. That's their 4th win in a row. And how about some of these numbers? Rushing numbers, Kelvin Rutledge, 8 rushes for 84 yards and a touchdown, and also a fumble. Travion Thomas, 9 rushes for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns and a fumble. And Carlton Callaway. 14 rushes and 96 yards. And for Kenny Lewis, 1 completion out of 3 tries for a touchdown and an interception. With a big play that really kind of broke the back of the Matadors, the 61-yard pass play from Kenny Lewis to Jabari Lewis to really, that was the winning play, in my opinion, for this Cardinal team tonight.
You mentioned it, Lou, that Kenny Lewis, his favorite receiver is Jabari Lewis. They haven't been able to connect that often this season, but when they have, it's explosive. And there, that 61-yard play where Jabari Lewis, the receiver, was able to get behind the secondary, wide open, and nice extension. You mentioned you love the fact the way he was running in stride, and he was just going. His beautiful gait, he was gone. Nice throw by Jabari Lewis. If they can somehow find a way to mix in Jabari Lewis a little bit more, get some of the pressure off of Kelvin Rutledge and Travion Thomas, that's a 3-headed monster that Londa will be in Pioneer League action. And going back to what Coach Gomez was telling Rashawn, bringing back the tradition, honoring the 66 team is a huge fact. And, you know, it's only his first year here as a head coach at Londa. He's been in the program before. He knows what's going on. He wants to bring back the tradition to this program, and he's doing that slowly week by week, where he's giving these players some bit of knowledge of what it is to be a Lawndale Cardinal.
Yeah, they also have some pretty big tight ends there, too. Raphael King, who on the defensive side of the ball was an animal tonight, as was Dion Reed, Miguel Ramirez, and Tariq Lewis. Some pretty big targets there at tight end. So there are some weapons there that, yeah, let's try them out. Let's utilize them. Let's see if they can get it, because it's not going to be easy this year in the Pioneer League.
No, especially with South, North, Torrance, El Segundo, Centennial. It's going to be a tough game every single week, as they've built up a nice record. They've found a way to get their offense going, as they're now 4-1 at the end of non-league action, and that's going to be big, and that helps, and it gives you a lot of confidence when you know what, we're 4-1, and you get to play a South Torrance team at home where you've had some success, and that helps a lot.
Sure does, and it's just been a huge, huge success, and it sure is fun to watch this Cardinal team grow from the little baby chicks 5 years ago. Now they are the Bull Cardinals in the big bush here in Lawndale.
And they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in this Pioneer League. You know, obviously South Torrance is a team that's strong, and it's going to be the elite of the league, but they're not going to be one to be taken over with. And that's what South Torrance and the teams that can come and dominate a league, that's what Coach Gomez is trying to have in his squad, a squad where teams don't want to play you. It used to be you take on the Lawndales because you can go and build up your stats, you can go and build some confidence going into your league action. Now it's, no, we don't want to play those kind of guys, because it's a good, solid program, and Coach Gomez and Coach Padilla before him have really set a strong foundation here at Lawndale.
Let's go over the scoring for you before we sign off tonight. 27-6 was the final score on homecoming night. And, you know, Rashawn never did introduce us to the homecoming queen.
He did talk to her.
He did talk to her,
never
but
told
he never
us about it.
That's right. That's right. He's keeping her all to himself, but I can't blame him. You know, it's a homecoming queen after all. But in the first quarter, the Cardinals got the ball after the kickoff. Travion Thomas capped off a 3-play drive with a 48-yard touchdown run to make it 7-0. The kick was good. Then on their next possession, Kelvin Rutledge, not to be outdone, completed a 7-play drive, and that was a long drive of about 55 yards. Kelvin Rutledge with a 28-yard run. The kick was no good to make it 13-0, and that's how the first half ended. A lot of penalties, though, in that first half.
In that first quarter, that's when it looked like Lawndale was going to run away from it. The first drive, 2 plays, you got a touchdown. The next one, 7 plays and a touchdown, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, it's going to be a big route. But Lawndale shot themselves in the foot, and you mentioned a lot of turnovers, also a lot of penalties, and Coach Gomez, you know, is going to get in that film room immediately and knock that out of his team.
That's right. 2 drives were failed by, one was fumbled away, one was intercepted away deep inside of Matador territory. Then things got going again in the second half right away, as it was the big touchdown throw from Kenny Lewis to Jabari Lewis. Came out of nowhere, really, that even surprised us, for 61 yards to make it 21-0. The 2-point conversion was good by Travion Thomas.
Well, a team that doesn't throw often, and when they do throw, you got to make sure it counts. And you got to keep a team honest, and that's what you want to do. You want to mix in your quarterback to your receiver. And when Jabari Lewis, who's 6'2", 180, can fly, and you hit him in stride. Lou, I don't know how many times we said it. It's a beautiful thing to see.
That's right, and really lulled the Matadors asleep with the run. Then all of a sudden, oops, there you go on the play action pass. Lewis to Lewis, and that equals 7 points.
Lewis
Actually,
to Lewis
8 points.
equals 7 points.
That's right.
All right, I got to write
6
that one down.
points, actually. And then the 13-yard run by Travion Thomas, his second touchdown of the game, really capped it to make it 27-0, a 5-play drive. And that was it for the scoring there, except for the 6-yard run by Xavier Mitchell. Really a little bit of a tired Cardinal team, but it was homecoming, and this team is still growing, and their conditioning will definitely be tested next week by South.
And the most important thing is they had a couple big linemen go down early in the second half. You have to get them healthy. You got to have them back at full force to take on that South Torrance team.
That's right, especially with the running game that really, really depends on it. But Carlton Callaway, in his return to the lineup tonight, really made his presence felt at the fullback position.
Callaway had friends and family, grandfather in from New York, and really came out, ran really strong. And that's just another weapon that Coach Gomez will have. Carlton Callaway, a junior who runs really hard, and he offsets Travion Thomas and Kelvin Rutledge. Now that's 3 people that defensive coordinators need to worry about, as Callaway is slowly emerging to be another strong force here for the Cardinals.
So it's hide hey, hide ho for Carlton Callaway and the
I
Cardinals.
give up.
27-6. Put that back on. We're not finished yet.
Heidi, Heidi, hey.
Well, he's an ancestor of Cab Calloway. Come on now.
Yeah, but just hearing you singing it, Lou, that's beautiful.
I haven't started singing yet,
Oh,
and
my
we're not going
goodness.
to start. We're just going to get this one out of here. We're going to put the
Please.
bow on this one and wrap it up and say
Wait,
thank you very
put
much.
the bow and wrap it. Dove season starts on Labor Day.
It does.
Oh, my goodness. Put that in the bank.
You
and
live such a sheltered life.
Man.
I tell you.
I need a sandwich.
Here, geez, we're going to take him over to the taco stand here for
Please.
again, a little
See,
bit
that's
of a
what
talk
we
here.
need. Little
All
carne
right.
asada, pastor, we're all good.
Who? Al Pastor?
Yes, Al Pastor.
Al Pastor, was he?
Picture in the
never
70s.
Mind. Never mind, yeah. Down at the Episcopalian church there, the pastor. Okay, before we get in real trouble, for Rashawn Haylock and Tom Strickfaden and the terrific crew that includes Norma tonight, thank goodness, and Beto Duran, I'm Lou Stowers saying thank you very much for joining us. And once again, the score from the Cardinal Nest on the campus of Lawndale High School. It's homecoming, and it's going to be a good one. It has been a good one. It was a good one. 27-6, Lawndale over Bolsa Grande. Until next weekend when South comes into the Cardinals' nest, so long.